Most men don't fail after a breakup because she left. They fail because they can't stay silent when silence matters most. Let me be blunt. No contact is not some sneaky trick to make her miss you. It's a test of whether you can master yourself. And here's the ugly truth. 90% of men fail that test. They cave, they chase, they beg, and in doing so, they destroy the last shred of respect she may have had. But here's the part most men don't want to hear. If you think no contact is about her, you've already lost. It's not about her at all. It's about you. It's about proving you can live without external validation. It's about walking away with dignity. It's about looking in the mirror and knowing you didn't crumble just because it hurt. Stoicism teaches that true strength is self-control. Remaining unmoved when emotions try to drag weaker men into chaos. No contact is the battlefield where this principle is tested. And I'll say something most won't dare say. If you break no contact without a clear, principle-driven reason, you're proving she controls you, not the other way around. So, when should you break it? Only when it aligns with your values, not your impulses. Anything else is weakness disguised as hope. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 10 Stoic principles that will show you exactly when breaking. No contact is justified, and when it's nothing more than self-sabotage. Principle number 1, it's not about her. Most men treat no contact like a trick, thinking if they vanish long enough, she'll realise what she lost. That mindset is why they fail. No contact is not about making her miss you. It's about reclaiming control of yourself. It's about proving you can stand on your own without needing validation from someone who already walked away. Because if your plan is just to wait until she comes running back, you've already given her the power. You're still revolving around her decisions instead of standing on your own. Think about it. If she left, that was her choice. Chasing after her only validates it. But when you cut contact, not out of anger, but out of self-respect, you prove you can move forward with or without her. Silence isn't a trick. It's a declaration of independence. Stoicism teaches us to master what we can control and release what we can't. You can't control whether she values you, but you can control how you respond. Walking away is the real test. Are you guided by neediness or by principle? If she returns, fine. If not, even better. Either way, no contact protects your time and dignity. Picture a man whose girlfriend leaves. Instead of chasing, he goes silent. Months later, she asks why he never reached out. His answer? Nothing. Because his silence was never about making her miss him. It was about proving to himself that he could live without her validation. That's strength. And here's the truth. Silence is power, not weakness. Weak men can't sit with silence. They itch to text, to call, to explain. Strong men know silence says more than 1,000 words. Women test men. It's in their nature. When you stop chasing, your silence forces her to face the truth. Your attention is no longer free. That makes her uncomfortable because she can't control your response. Men who break silence too quickly always regret it. They send the long text, they spill emotions, they beg to be understood. And what happens? She ignores it, or worse, loses respect. Why? Because he just showed her she still controls his emotions. That's not attraction. That's desperation. But silence. Silence is magnetic. Silence communicates self-respect without a single word. It says, I don't need your validation. I won't beg for your attention. I stand on my own. In a world where most men are desperate for a woman's time, silence sets you apart as a man of discipline. From a Stoic perspective, it's the highest form of control. Proof that you're guided by reason, not by impulse. And here's the part most men overlook. Silence doesn't just spark her curiosity, it restores your peace. Picture this. A man's ex keeps posting, baiting him to react. Most men would take the hook, comment, reach out, chase. But he stays silent. Days turn into weeks, until finally she sends a message. So, you don't care anymore? That single message says it all. His silence spoke louder than words ever could. Let her stay gone. If she leaves, let her stay gone. This is where men struggle. If she truly valued you, she wouldn't have walked away. Harsh, but true. The moment she left, she showed you exactly where you stood in her priorities. And here's the mistake most men make. Trying to pull her back. That only proves she was right to leave. Nights spent overthinking? That's human. But chasing after she's already chosen to walk? That's self-betrayal. It's like saying, even though you don't want me, I'll still fight for you. That's not strength. It's desperation dressed as love. When a woman leaves, you only have two paths. Cling to false hope and stay stuck. Or accept the pain, let it burn, and move forward. And that's where your power lies. Acceptance doesn't weaken you, it frees you. Free to focus on yourself. Free to build a life so strong that no one's absence can shake it. A man who can let go sends the clearest message, I was whole before you, and I'll be whole after you. That's attractive. That's Stoicism in action. Because when you leave the door open for someone who already walked away, you're not valuing her, you're devaluing yourself. 4. Never break silence for a maybe. One of the biggest traps men fall into after going no contact is caving in to uncertainty. A late night, hey, stranger, text. A random like on social media. A vague, meaningless message. These are the maybes that make men crumble. Here's the truth. When you respond to crumbs, you reveal that your silence wasn't strength. It was hope. You weren't moving on. You were waiting. And the moment she tosses you something small, you jump. That doesn't rebuild attraction. It destroys your value. Women know the power of maybe. Maybe I'll see you soon. Maybe we should talk. Maybe things could be different. Those aren't commitments, they're bait. And men who bite end up stuck in the same cycle of confusion and frustration. If you break no contact, it must be for real action. Consistency, respect, and genuine change, not breadcrumbs. When you respond to maybe energy, you become the man who waits, hoping she'll choose him. But when you only respond to clear effort, you show you're the man who values himself enough to walk away from half-heartedness. A stoic man doesn't break silence because someone dangled possibility in front of him. He breaks it only when reality, not hope, proves there's something solid on the table. So remember this. If all she offers is a maybe, your answer is silence. 5. Principles over emotions. Too many men let their emotions steer the wheel after a breakup. They mistake impulse for authenticity, thinking that acting on feelings in the moment somehow makes them real. But here's the harsh truth. When you let emotions dictate your actions, you look weak, desperate, and unstable. Nothing kills attraction faster than a man who can't control himself. Most men don't fail no contact because they don't understand it. They fail because they lack discipline. Loneliness pushes them into an I miss you text. Jealousy pushes them into stalking her social media. But a man grounded in principles doesn't bend to emotions. He uses discipline as his anchor. That's what separates the man who crumbles from the man who commands respect. They let the fear of losing her forever drive them into begging for another chance. And then They wonder why her respect fades a little more each time. Wake up, gentlemen. A man ruled by emotions is a man who can be controlled. Women feel this instantly. Once they know they can trigger you, they'll never take you seriously again. What separates strong men from the rest? Principles. A principle says, I don't chase those who walk away. A principle says, my dignity is worth more than a text back. A principle says, if it violates my self-respect, I don't do it, no matter how I feel in the moment. That's Stoicism at its core, refusing to be enslaved by emotions and choosing instead to act from reason, clarity, and values. Here's your reality check. If you can't stand on principles, you'll stay stuck in cycles of heartbreak and desperation. But if you build your life on them, no woman, no rejection, no silence can shake you. That's real strength. 6. Her words mean nothing. Her actions tell you everything. Too many men keep falling for words, ignoring the truth right in front of them. She says she still cares, but she's seeing someone else. She says she misses you, but never makes time for you. She promises change, but her behaviour never shifts. Words are cheap. They cost nothing. They don't demand sacrifice, effort, or commitment. But actions? Actions never lie. If she values you, you'll see it in her consistency. If she doesn't, you'll see excuses, distance, and half-hearted effort. The problem is, most men are so desperate for hope, they'll cling to any sweet line she throws. I still love you. I think about you. Maybe one day. Enough to keep weak men waiting, chasing, and destroying their own self-respect. Wake up, gentlemen. Words are air. Actions are truth. Actions reveal the truth. A Stoic man never judges a woman by her words. He judges her by her consistent behaviour. If her actions don't match what she says, then her words mean nothing. And here's the hard truth. When you chase her words and ignore her actions, you're lying to yourself. You're choosing weakness over clarity. The standard is simple. Never break no contact because she said something. Break it only if her actions prove it. Until then, silence is your weapon. Her words, meaningless. Her actions, reality. Now, here's the paradox most men miss. The only safe time to break no contact is when you genuinely don't care anymore. Not when you're still clinging to hope. Not when you're replaying old memories in your head. But when her reply or silence means nothing to you at all. Why? Because when you care too much, you act out of need. You'll text with expectation. You'll wait for her response like your life depends on it. And if she ignores you or throws you crumbs, you'll be crushed all over again. That's not strength. That's dependence. But when you've rebuilt yourself, when your happiness no longer hinges on her attention, everything changes. You can reach out without fear, without attachment, without need. Whether she answers or not doesn't shake you, because your life is already full. That's Stoicism in action. The wise man isn't ruled by hope or fear. He's ruled by principle. So remember this. Break no contact only when you no longer care, because the moment you don't need her reply is the moment you've already won. And here's the reality most men don't want to hear. If she left you once, she can leave you again. If you take her back without standards, you're not a man, you're a doormat. Painful? Yes. But reality? Absolutely. A woman never respects the man who bends his discipline. She respects the one who stands firm, even when it hurts. Gentlemen, I want to hear from you. What's been your experience with no contact? Did you break it too soon and regret it? Or did you stay silent and see results? Share your story below. I'll reply to as many as I can. Remember, this isn't just about women. This is about you. about self-mastery, about becoming a man who cannot be swayed by fear, need, or false hope. Because if you lose a woman but gain self-respect, you didn't lose anything. You won. And speaking of self-respect, in the next video, we'll dive into why being too nice to women is the fastest way to kill attraction. Stay tuned. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss it. I'll see you there.